Have you ever been in a situation where you felt unwelcome? What were the signs that you were not welcome? How did you feel in that situation? About 20 years ago, I was a part of a team in the Diocese of Honolulu, where I was ministering, that was sent by the bishop to do what was called clustering parishes. We just did not have enough priests in the diocese to staff all 66 parishes. And many of the small rural parishes and a few of the city parishes, they just could not afford to pay for a priest or to pay their other expenses as a parish. So the team was sent out to meet with the people to propose clustering with one or two other parishes. There was no intention to close any parish, only to cluster them under the pastoral care of one priest, so that expenses could be shared by 2 or 3 parishes. Needless to say, and I'm sure you know this, Catholics are kind of possessive of their parish and their priests. So the meetings we set up to inform, plan, and carry out the clustering effort were, well, not very welcoming and sometimes pretty hostile. We got a taste of what Ezekiel experienced in the first reading when he found the Israelites hard of face and obstinate of heart. St. Paul experienced much of the same in his travels to bring the gospel to all the nations. Some of the resistance was understandable, since Paul had been a Pharisee who had persecuted Christians. After his conversion, many were still suspicious of him, thinking he might be a spy for the Romans. But Paul acknowledged that when he was weak in the face of insults and persecutions, then he was strong in God's grace. He knew as well and that he experienced and knew how it was to be unwelcome. So did Jesus. He went to his hometown today in the gospel to teach, and those who heard him, they were astonished. For some, it might have been a good type of astonishment. For others, it was the opposite. Who does he think he is? We know his family. We know his background. We know who he is. He has a lot of nerve coming here and preaching to us. Going back to our own feelings of being unwelcome. Have you ever felt unwelcome in a church, or because you're a Catholic, or because you were trying to do something good for someone? If so, we can relate to Ezekiel and Paul and Jesus. Each of them was an astonishing representative of God. As followers of Jesus, we are expected and encouraged to be astonishing ourselves. So now you're probably thinking, well, that doesn't seem possible for me. I don't have the stamina or the knowledge or the thick skin to take rejection or the way with words to convince others to believe me. But what should be astonishing to others is not our eccentricities, nor our intelligence, nor the loudness or volume of our voices. Nor should it be because we are scolding or criticizing or judging others. Rather, what should be astonishing is the degree to which we display God-likeness in our words and deeds. That's what will get the attention of others and astonish them. So what kind of godlike words and actions? Astonishing levels of mercy and forgiveness. Astonishing levels of kindness and generosity. Astonishing levels of humility. Astonishing levels of compassion and understanding. And above all, love. These are the things that will change human hearts and ultimately the world. These are the things that will get others to take notice, to pay attention, to pause and reflect on what they are seeing or hearing, and move them to embrace those very same things, and even welcome those very same things and the people who exemplify them. Being astonishing has nothing to do with being in the spotlight, being the center of attention. Not at all. Each of us can be astonishing in our own way, even if our lives seem insignificant or invisible, even when we might feel ordinary, or even when we can't see how we could possibly make a difference. Just love, and then love some more. People will notice, and they will be astonished. In case you're wondering what happened to the clustering parish plan, after much struggle and lots of prayer, the diocese successfully developed 8 clusters of 2 or more parishes with 1 priest or pastor in each cluster. A few years later, our bishop was transferred to another diocese, and a new bishop came, and he declustered all but one of them. What can I say?